Hey, good morning, everybody. I wish you all luck on completing your final research assignment project this week. If you haven't done so, I got mine handed in already. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I chose to do my research on a topic which has always fascinated me. For that, it's the Salem witch trials. I feel that a complete understanding of the American Christian heritage, with its great revivals and lasting impact on the very moral fiber that founded this nation, cannot be fully appraised without further research into the blights and not just the blessings of colonial Christianity. Simply put, Puritan beliefs manifested the devil ready and poised to pounce on wayward souls, or at least it was so to those living in Salem Village. Between 1692 and 1693, this Massachusetts town hanged 19 people. 4 died in jail, and 1 was pressed to death with heavy stones as magistrates sought a confession. The Puritans followed strict adherence to religious theology and had a history of rejecting nonconformists. This all serves as a backdrop to the Salem witch trials, especially when considering the Puritan views on witches. Leading Massachusetts Bay clergyman John Cotton, not to be confused with Cotton Mather, clearly defined Puritan laws when it came to witchcraft. He states, if a man or woman be a witch, that is, hath or consulteth with a familiar spirit, they shall be put to death. There is no doubt that the Puritans were a people who saw the devil in the dark crevices of Salem Village in the eyes of its very community. The facts of the Salem witch trials that ravaged the townspeople of Salem Village are now well known to history. With that being said, however, the motivations behind the hysteria, behind the executions, that's kind of still unclear. It was this uncertainty that prompted my research for this course. I uncovered a plethora of rationales for the motivating factors of the witch trials, many of which, though, have not kind of stood up to the test of time or to further scrutiny. And a means to rationalize the atrocities, ergotism, which is another name for ergot poisoning, was a proposed and accepted explanation for the hysteria that gripped Salem. Ergotism is a condition caused by eating contaminated rye bread, resulting in a number of symptoms, one of which was vivid hallucinations. While this was believed to be the cause of the hysteria, there's just simply no explanation as to why the disease that has a slow buildup and a slow decline, why the symptoms started and stopped as suddenly as they did. Conversion hysteria was also used as an explanation to, hysteria here in Salem. Basically what that is physiological anxieties are going to go ahead and create physical symptoms. The sheer amount of people, though, who suffered and who were afflicted in Salem runs juxtaposed to this explanation. However, as it's now reported that in today's understanding of this disorder, only about 0.02% of the population is actually afflicted from this disorder. So the arguments that I analyzed that do still hold validity come from 3 major sources. The first was from Vernon Parrington's 1927 work, Main Currents in American Thought, The Colonial Mind. Parrington asserted that it was the stifling environment of the Puritans that gave rise to the trial's intensity. Julian Franklin then published her theories that pubescent girls eager for attention and control entirely made up the witchcraft phenomenon. This was set forth in her 1971 work, Death by Enchantment. And then finally, Chadwick Hansen offers the most contemporary of the views in his text, Witchcraft at Salem. Disagreeing with his predecessors, Hansen asserted that witchcraft was a very real phenomenon, at least to the Puritans, and in such predicated the hysteria that followed. So while evaluating Parrington, Franklin, Hansen, and their theories, they all contain contradictions as much as they contain tangible evidence. Therein lies the problem. The mass hysteria, occultist fits, the turning of neighbor against neighbor with little regard to the destruction can never fully be understood through just one singular lens. Salem certainly did suffer from a staunchly confining religious ideology, with many ministers ready in every way to stir the community into a fervor in the name of rooting out the devil. Salem was also prey to a cadre of delinquent children who found the allure and attention that they got from this rebellion. They found it tantalizing. It is also, only when these two explanations are contextualized, though, against the actual history of occult practices, that the most accurate understanding of the driving pulse behind the hysteria can fully be appreciated. So, at least to myself, the Salem witch trials were a result of a community constrained and controlled by an impressive religious manifestation that prompted a rebellious and attention-seeking brashness, at least displayed in the original accusers, all set to the backdrop of an occult tradition. I've attached to our work this week, my primary and secondary sources that I used for reference, in case you guys want to go ahead and check them out. I also took the introductory paragraph and kind of tweaked that and used it as my abstract for this post for you guys to look at as well. Good luck this week on all of your final preparations, and I really can't wait to see what you guys have to share. And I thank you for all of the help you guys have been over the last 7 weeks or so. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.